Hello, everyone, and welcome to Road to Top 100 while employed. I just started my first full-time job and have always kind of wanted to do YouTube, so thought I'd just give it a try casually. I'm starting at 1134 ELO here. I was at 1200 before and then kind of rank decayed just from not playing, and I've always kind of wanted to try to get to rank within the top 100. So I think I'm just going to make a series out of trying my best in some ranked games and kind of talking through my mindset, what I'm thinking. I think either you guys can learn something or I can learn something if you guys give me any advice. So let's get it. Okay, time to get started. First, I check if I have any, prevalent things that I have multiple. If I have multiple fire units, so I could very much do that, or just Litwick, so Ghost or Light could be good. I'll just look for one of those. I guess I'll go Ghost. Steel is also really strong in this patch, in my opinion. So generally, if you can have a strong Steel start, that's always good. I think Clink is really good. I think for this, I pretty much always just focus on the item. I know it may seem like I can get an evolution, that's great, but I think that going for the item is always the most important. However, ice is pretty much never going to be a bad item, so we can pick that up. The way I'm recording this is somewhat scuffed. I am just on my Mac laptop using the built-in record screen and using my AirPods as a mic, so I'm sorry if the audio quality is not very good. So we're holding on to things in the shop that aren't necessarily the synergy I'm going for, because we can't really make 10 gold, so we can't get interest anyways, and it increases the chance that we find something that we actually do want. So region's pretty important. I'm going to steal region. Getting spoon though, it's definitely interesting. I think I'm going to get water for flexibility's sake. And I'll pick this guy up just because he's really good. We can check our artificial item. And here we should try to get to 10 gold. On round 3, you can always get to 10 gold. So we have a decent artificial item, and we're in a steel portal, so I could totally see a world where I just go steel. However, our items are not the greatest for steel. We really want charcoals or magnets. So I think I'll just grab a seed here. We can get a max revive. Or a Gracidia flower. I think Assault Vest is always good. Here, I don't really see anything amazing, but I don't mind making a Kakuna, because there is a potential poison thing. I actually thought I had space for another, that's why I bought that, otherwise I would not have bought that, so okay. Already starting off with a clear blunder. I think I won't make any items yet. I think slamming a max revive here is totally fine. Soldier wouldn't be the worst, but with this artificial item, if I can get a Aqua Egg, it's actually really strong because of the way that Aqua Egg works. You basically get a percentage or an amount every time you cast, and you can cast twice, like basically consecutively because of the max ether, I believe. So pretty unfortunate loss here. Wow, okay. These items are really not amazing. I mean, we have 2 max revives, so to me that screams like a kind of ghost game, poison game where you just want to stall. I think I'll just see what the game gives me, honestly. kind of geared towards those. I don't think steel or fire is really a good bet here because with those you really want magnets, and we don't have any of those, so somewhat of a tough scenario. I'm sure it'll work out. So this guy is going steel. He has a steel coat, which is a really good item. I'm honestly glad I didn't get that though, because then I'd want to go steel, and with these items it definitely would not be the greatest idea, unless maybe I get Duraludon. Okay, we can get poison. And I honestly feel as though that's probably better. I think Max Revive with Poison's pretty good, and it actually can make use of casting items, even if, you know, magnets are still, you know, one of the better items for that comp. Magnets are an amazing item for pretty much every comp other than caster comps. I think they're one of the most versatile items, other than maybe defensive items, because you pretty much never can go wrong with defensive items. Realistically, I do know that I will sell Nidoran eventually, so I don't mind giving him an item. And I think this guy is the best Max Ether holder just because it kind of keeps him alive as well. And I think his ability is decent to cast twice because he walks away, gains speed, and then uses that speed for his ability. Okay, so we do get the Aqua Egg, which I do like for this Max Ether specifically. I really don't like it on him though, so I'm not really sure what to do there. I would love a ranged unit. The best unit here would obviously be Roselia. But since we don't have that, I think I'll just go Aqua Egg here. And I think it's pretty safe to say we're going to go Poison. As you can see, the Max Revive is just letting me stay alive for so long and just allows us to get so much damage. Due to the nature of Poison, just the longer it takes, the longer your team can stay alive, the more you can hit them and build up more Poison stacks, although I can't actually stack Poison yet. You get the idea. So yeah, we'll see what portal I get. I can totally pivot here. I do love the combination of item and artificial item, so if I can, I would love to keep artificial with whatever I go. So I could see that being Ghost or Poison. Steel, I still do not think is really possible. And I can check the overlaps, but there's not really much overlap in any other type. I guess electric, but it's largely just unique. There's only one actual unit. So yeah, I think we'll just see what portal we get and then make a decision from there. I like to try to get to 50 gold as soon as possible, and we made like a pretty strong early game team, so I didn't have to worry about rolling or investing too much money. Try to get a poison portal. We got one. Hopefully we get something good. Okay, this is very good. Only thing is, I wish I had the Soldu yet still, because the Soldu is very strong with Quillfish. I mean, we kind of have to take that. What are my other options? Steel, I already don't think is going to be that great. Well, actually, I did get the person I said would be good with it. So that is totally valid. We could also have ghosts. Let's see what additional picks there are. There's 2 ghosts. There's no artificial ones. Poison, that's my problem though. I don't have more artificial poison people other than him. I think I'm going to try to go poison. Kind of ran out of time there, obviously. Not optimal. I think getting bug in would be nice. Problem is we need to keep artificial, which we don't necessarily need to keep, but okay. This guy's going fairy. I think fairy is very strong right now. Ooh. So magnet plus ice is really good, but I think magnet in general is just pretty good. So I will grab that. And we can place you in. That gets poison 5. We take you out. I'm gonna give that to you. And I would love to get that. But I feel like poison 5 is probably stronger than bug 2 since it's just a Kakuna. Could be unsure though. I'd love to get one more poison unit. Okay, well, I ran out of time, but ideally I should have put the aqua egg on Quillfish. Well, I could still save it for Roselia, because he's not really someone who benefits from casting consecutively. At least in my mind, I usually want him to have a bunch of defensive items. And objectively, this is just better than Clink, except for he gives attack speed to my whole team. Don't know how much it gives. Let's see, 42. Let's see what compare that is what it is normally, and see how much it actually contributed. Okay, fossil stones. I can't say that I anticipate any of these being worth the 10 gold, since poison doesn't really have great overlap. There's some dark overlap for sure. Someone already took that. And sometimes there's grass overlap, but unfortunately, I don't think any of these other ones really are good for us, which is fine. I'll happily take the 10 gold. So what was Kakuna? 42? Ooh, so it actually gave a pretty good amount of attack speed. That's 7 attack speed to our whole team, which is like 42 attack speed in total. Yeah, see, now I'm in a pretty hard situation because I can put the aqua egg on Quillfish. Okay, well I definitely want a focus band for Quillfish, or muscle band. So in theory, poison should be a counter to grass, since even if they gain more max HP from the previous kind of buff, it actually doesn't really matter because poison will just tear through that since it's based on max HP. I think there's a very high likelihood that I put max revive on this, and I'm really unsure if I should. I think it is the right call though. You don't like to put muscle band and max revive together generally, but I think it's the right call here because ideally I'm not getting many more defensive items, and when I do, I will be moving the max ether to someone else anyways. And if it gets revived when it has already buffed its health, I think it'll move on to the next life. Not sure how it works for something that's like this, where he gives it up eventually, but generally, if you have a ability that buffs your own stats, and then you die and have a max revive, you keep those next stats into your next life. This does not apply to things that are from items like Muscle Band. Those will be reset. But if they're from your ability, they do carry over. And I don't want to make an upgrade yet, even though it's an amazing item for poison, just because I think if we get a Soul Dew on something like Roselia, it would be even better. Oh, I didn't even realize. Here's a Bulbasaur. I might have missed stuff in the shop. I think we can sell these. I don't realistically think we're going to hit that. I think if Roselia is the goal, I should pump levels. Leveling up here is probably optimal. Here I'm in a tough situation, because if I take Artificial out, I'll get Poison 7, which I think is worth. Poison 7 is pretty strong. Ooh, and I do actually get the Soul Dew, which I think is for sure what I should make, but I should wait until I see what my other items are. I think long term I just prefer Honedge to Clink, because he is tanky and benefits what will be my backline poison unit carries. And just has better stats, obviously. Okay, so he came back with 275. I'm pretty sure that's above normal amount of health. This guy's playing Light Sunflora, so unfortunately we will lose to that. Not too much we can do about that. Let's see. So Kakuna is actually doing a lot of work. I think we're in a decent spot. We just need to find Roselia, which is obviously an epic, so it's going to be a little rare. We did just lose, so there's totally an argument to be made that I should go put Steel and Artificial back in. I don't know how much it's really adding. So Bulbasaur here has tons more max HP, but surely Poison just melts it, right? Plus the Muscle Band should make him very tanky. I would hope that we win this. And we do. So we take first place, that's very nice. Here, Ice or Magnet would be good. Because we can make the loaded dice, which is very good for poison. So that's the last items we'll receive until legendaries. We'll receive a combined item, which means we can just make our items now, and we should do that. And I think these are the items I'm gonna go with. Varoom in this game gets attack speed every tile he walks, so I'm putting him in the very back, even though he's a melee unit, because I want him to have to walk towards the other people. And Poison, since the max level is 7, it is much more viable to mix in other synergies, like artificial, than other synergies, since you have extra space to work with. Right? If I get to level 8, then I can easily just slot in Hone Edge to get artificial and steel, which is an amazing thing to have. Ooh. Okay, well, I believe that's going to be better than Hone Edge. And probably better than just having a random person like you. Porygon is very strong. I think the chances that I go for Golbat are very low, considering I itemize him so heavily. I'm using him as a temporary unit. Until I can get Rose Raid. And since I'm in the lead, I'm not really pressured to roll too much. However, I do want to get the one last Weedle before I level up, because my odds will be much worse after I level up. I think it's unlikely I get Nidoran evolved. Ooh, Poison and Bug is actually very valuable. So we obviously want a Poison Portal, of which there's not actually that many. We can totally give the items Zubat has to a legendary as well if we get a backline legendary. Okay, we get, oh perfect. This is exactly who I would want to give it to. Eternatus is good, but I don't really have any of the other synergies. And I think Nihilego is pretty much always good. What I want to do is compare the attack speed of my legendary to Rose Raid to see who I should make the caster and who I should make the special attacker, because they can both be either, to be honest. 54 versus 58. So he would be better with the simple attacking items. But I think both of them are viable either way. Not loving how my bench is situated right now. Try to get to level 8. I think we can probably just spam it here. So I actually take back what I said. Ah, I was too slow. That's pretty bad. because I didn't realize that this person has a passive of gaining ability power on a KO, which would really benefit what I'm trying to give it. So people have safety goggles and light. Well, not enough light, but they are starting to counter me. So something like Gracidia Flower would be really good. Gracidia Flower got taken though. It's most likely just a defensive item. Ooh, that is very good. I do need to still try to get a fully evolved Weedle. I think this Max Ether will make a big difference. And then we can give this Power Lens to Quillfish, which is pretty good. So my Legendary is just spamming casts. Still doesn't seem to be enough though. This Sunflora, too strong. And my people line up, so they're both gonna die here. Unfortunate. Try to get to 40 gold. Everyone's still alive. Very even lobby. So we finally get Bidoo. My Legendary is doing a lot of damage, which is good. I think Porygon against a light 5 team is also very strong. I did not honestly know that it takes the Resurrection, and I assume all of the light attributes. It's pretty decently tanky. Well, not that much. Unfortunately, since I itemized Kakuna, the Ultra will not be getting copied. It's a pretty hard decision. But I don't think the other options really make sense, so I'll probably just throw this on you. Porygon's another good option. I actually probably should have put it at pull on Porygon in retrospect. Barely lost. So we're not even in the region for room, and I don't think it's worth using a Ditto on him. Okay. I think we're gonna have to give up on you. And put you over here. I forgot there's another Ultra that would fit this team. Okay, we are on lethal, so I need to use all my money. And since I'm on a Mac laptop without a mouse, it is actually kind of difficult to hyper roll. Hopefully we can evolve, well, all of our Ultras. Don't know how likely that actually is though. Shiny Charm is very good. I'll happily take that. And now we just roll. That's at least one Ultra evolved. That's Venusaur. That's Porygon. There we have Haunter. Oh. There we go. I am extremely lucky. That is actually unbelievable. So I don't love that because we would be cloning what is an Ultra, that's an evolved Ultra, with Bug, but I think surely Ghastly's pretty important, especially since we're losing against caster comps with Light. I think we still lose though. Yeah, okay, 4th place. Still gaining Elo, but pretty unfortunate, honestly. I think being forced to have this, it probably... I mean, it's hard to know whether it's better to get rid of Artificial or Bug, because obviously my Legendary is my carry. And I feel like the Max Ether is a very good item. Like, if we got an item here that I could replace it with, then it would be an obvious decision. But pretty tough overall. Let's see what I lost to. So Light 5, Floral 5. Obviously very, very strong. Synflora with crit cast items. Fairy 8, also very strong. I feel like Fairy's a very strong comp in general. And this is really interesting. Caster, that's getting heals and PP. I usually don't have much success with that, but clearly this person is having success. Very interesting. All the people we lost to are either Fairy or Floral. I don't know how to feel about that, honestly. I mean, like, I feel like this is a little stupid, right? Like, he's having tank items on backline units. Honestly, not sure how I lost to this. Like, what is this? How did I lose to this guy? Maybe I matched up poorly into the rest of the lobby, and they built immunity items. Honestly, I'm not sure how I lost to this. I mean, Rocky Helmet on you? Muscle Band on you? Very weird. Fairy person takes the dub against the weird team. Oh, wait, no. That's the light team. So, as I expect, the weird team gets eliminated. So, I'm actually interested to see who will win here. It seems like the light team actually lost to the fairy team. Oh, I didn't even realize this person has Solgaleo. Okay, then I'm totally fine with losing to this person. Even if their items are a little weird. I don't think Smoke Ball generally is very good, but I assume they were forced into making it because the rest of their items look pretty competent. Fully evolved Clefable, that's pretty cool. You don't see that often. The Solgaleo is very interesting. I think my positioning also could have been much better against the Sunfloral, because guaranteed was hitting multiple people with its beam. Should have spread out a bit more, maybe. Sunflora just too strong. Actually unbeatable. Pretty crazy. Well, we will watch the last battle, and then that'll be the end of my first ever YouTube upload. Kind of. Okay, let's see if it's different. They mirrored their positioning. Sunflora took a good amount of damage, goes down early. Looks like they already got into the back line. It's not looking good for the light player. Oh, Sunflora's down. They definitely lose. So Fairy wins at the end of the day. I feel like all the items on the Fairy player are pretty competent, so I don't feel bad about losing to this. I'm honestly confused on how I lost to something like this. I mean, this looks like something that would be floral back when you gave the items to the person when you died. Very interesting, but I went, brain dead poison, so it makes sense. But I think I built a pretty good team with 3 evolved ultras. I think my positioning could have been better, but that wraps up my first game of the series. 0 elo. Might be a long series. Let's see how much we have to get to be top 100. So we need to crack 1300 to be able to be in top 100. And I did get to 1200 before, but yeah, 0 elo. Not the greatest start, but if you guys enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, and leave any advice down below if you have any. Thank you.